Hey guys, a happy Thursday. Joe here with Sports Grid. It's time for a Puck It with Joe. Now we're going to move quick through today's slate because we have a 14 games on the board. That's why we're kicking off a little bit earlier here as well. Let me just grab my pen here. Yeah, it's a loaded slate. I've got lots of things I'm liking on today's card, but let's get straight into it. Happy Thursday, Matt. Let's make some freaking money. It's going to be a great night on the ice. Pretty good night last night. I still can't get over what the Kings were unable to do. Really expected the Kings to come out strong right out of the gate in that game last night, but definitely a letdown one. Let's get it. We got the Montreal Canadiens getting that nice plus money last night. And Cole Caulfield, if you tailed that one, he did get that anytime goal. So we're going to jump into the first one here. The Pittsburgh Penguins taking on the Tampa Bay Lightning. Now, current odds and all odds are coming over from FanDuel. So right now, the Pittsburgh Penguins at plus 114, minus 137 here for the Tampa Bay Lightning. Total of 6.5. Now that 6.5 juice to that over, minus 122 to the under at plus 100. Looking at this matchup here, Tristan Jarry is confirmed for the Pittsburgh Penguins and Vasilevsky here for the Tampa Bay Lightning. What we've seen out of Vasilevsky is he hasn't been able to get the support from the defense of Tampa. We know Tampa's defense has been struggling this season, allowing their goaltenders to be pummeled, allowing 31.1 shots on goal per game. Now, they do have a strong kill at 84.5%, and I do think they are the right way to kind of lean in this game to the Lightning at home with Vasilevsky. I do think he's the better goaltender, but when we look at the Pittsburgh Penguins, they've won the last 4 meetings versus the Lightning. And if we don't get the support again of the defense here, I could see these goals coming in for Vasilevsky. So, but I don't think enough. I do think between Tristan Jarry here and Andre Vasilevsky, this one does stay under the 6.5. It's my favorite bet in this game. But when I look at it, this really is a coin flip to which team comes out stronger. I do think the Lightning are playing better hockey as of late and could pull off this win at home. But what we've got here, that money line just isn't interesting for me at minus 137. It's too high for me. If we were getting maybe minus 110, minus 112 here for the Tampa Bay Lightning, I would like it a lot better. I think you can look at Kucherov, though, for his shots on goal. Now, playing the shots on goal instead of the anytime goal, I do like in this one because I do think Tristan Jarry is going to be strong. Now, Kucherov has been getting these shots, and we've seen him really play strong hockey. 4+ shots on goal, though, for Kucherov is minus 170. And this is a problem with the books. They've really juiced these player props. If you take him 5+ shots on goal for Kucherov, that's coming in at plus 130. So you're getting value. He has gone over this number in 13 to 22 games so far on the season. And then if you look at him to even fire it up further, 6+ shots on goal, that coming in at plus 240. Now, I don't think I'd go that high for 6+ shots on goal. He has been able to get that many shots this season. And here against the Penguins, who allow 30.9 shots on goal per game, he has every opportunity. So the number I'm most comfortable with is 5+ shots on goal at that plus 130. I wouldn't hit the 4+ at minus 170, just too juicy for me. But that is what I'm liking. You like the draw on this one, and I could see this one going to a draw. These teams are very evenly matched here, and it's a good call on that. Good afternoon to Donald and Kev. Happy Thursday, you guys, and James. Thank you so much. So let's look at this under the Pittsburgh Penguins. Not the Pittsburgh Penguins. Yeah, the Pittsburgh Penguins. Oh man, I've been like looking at football lines and everything, getting my teams confused here. When we look at the Pens here, the last 6 games have gone under the total of 6.5. So we're seeing strong trends to the under. These teams as well trend to that under when we've seen them like separately, these teams trending to the under over the season, but versus each other trends to that over. I'm a little worried at that 4-3 kind of thing if things get tied up and this one does go to overtime. So it does support that draw you're looking at if you take the over, I really do think. But we look at the Tampa Bay Lightning. Their last 2 games have stayed under that total. Defenses are stepping up for both of these teams. Strong kills on both sides. So I do think this one stays under the 6.5, and I do lean to the Lightning at home, even though the Pittsburgh Penguins have been strong in this battle. The next one, we're going to look at the Seattle Kraken taking on the Toronto Maple Leafs. Now, the Leafs, the favorite at home, we did get their win in their last game out, not able to cover that puck line though, and that's super frustrating because we know the Leafs come in as favorites and you got to lay a lot of juice on the money line, so it's not worth it. So you have to count on them to cover that puck line. Again, didn't cover that puck line the last time we bet them. They're minus 184 here on the money line. Total 6.5 at FanDuel is minus 120 to the under, minus 102 to the over, and the Seattle Kraken at plus 152. Now, I've talked about Seattle's top line and how much I do like this team, but Toronto does seem like the right way to go in this matchup here. Grubauer has been pretty inconsistent this season, and he's got a 3.42 goals against average, a save percentage of 0.881. Joseph Wall has been a stronger goalie out for the Leafs. He's got a 2.74 goals against average, a save percentage of 0.916. Now, looking at these two teams, I do think Toronto, what we've seen out of them, we haven't seen that offensive explosion that I really want to see out of them. And I do think we get it tonight. I'm expecting these goals to come in. And that's why I mentioned Grubauer just has been inconsistent. He hasn't looked as solid as I would like to see him. I think the goals are coming in this one. I think Toronto can go over their team total, over 3.5. It's juicy at minus 133, but I do think there's still value over that 3.5. Now, they haven't gone over this in their last 5 games, but like I said, I really do think this is one where you can see them come out nice and strong. They're off a really strong defensive game versus the Florida Panthers. The Florida Panthers got them into the game that they wanted to play. Toronto's still able to win that 2-1. The Seattle Kraken roll in here. 2 losses last game to the Chicago Blackhawks, 4-3. So they allowed Chicago to put up 4 goals on them. I do have more faith in Toronto and this offensive powerhouses that they have on this team. So I think the goals are coming in this one. Toronto is strong at home. The Leafs sitting 4-1 in their last 5 games at home and 5-2 in their last 7 overall. So if I'm liking their team total over 3.5, I am liking this one to the over. We know the defense here of Toronto has been allowing these goals to come in, and Joseph Wall still isn't 100% proof out there, and I do think he allows a couple here by the Seattle Kraken. I talked about their elite top line and how strong they are. Okay. Next game on deck, the San Jose Sharks taking on the Boston Bruins. Now, the Sharks a huge underdog in this one, plus 390 if you think the Sharks can get their first win on the road this season versus the Boston Bruins off losses. This, I couldn't imagine taking the Sharks here. I want to take the Sharks at plus 390, but I got to be realistic. The Sharks team to roll into Boston, we know how hard it is for the best of teams to win in Boston, let alone the San Jose Sharks. So Boston's line is ridiculous, minus 530. If you like the Sharks to keep it tight, 1 goal game here, plus 1.5 on that puck line is plus 150. And if you think the Boston Bruins absolutely dominate, laying the 1.5, you're at minus 182. So you got to extend that lineup. You got to take it, laying the 2.5 before you're going to get great value there. I don't love doing that, especially in such a low one. We've got a total of 5.5, minus 115 to the over. Could this game finish 3-0? Absolutely. This is one where we could see Boston come out hot right out of the gate, get those goals on the board, and then just shut it down, play defensive hockey. So I'm not loving this total. What I might look, though, at is the Sharks team total. The Sharks team total coming in at 1.5. And I know there's not much wiggle room there, but I don't have very much confidence in the Sharks to score tonight. This team only averaging 1.64 goals per game. So you're giving me a number of 1.5 to the under at plus 112. They can score 1 goal. And that is it on the Boston Bruins and Swayman here. And we know sometimes, there's a little bit of puck luck for these teams, a little bit of a hiccup. I do think we can stay under the 1.5 for the Sharks. It's just such a low number that it's kind of crazy, it feels like, to take. The Boston Bruins in the first period on that puck line, I do like, though, laying the 0.5 goal on the puck line in the first period, coming in at minus 112. This team has lost their last 3 games, and they should take it out on the Sharks. The Sharks team, they won their last 2 at home. They got the 2-1 win over the Capitals, the Canucks 4-3. So this team has sneakily been beating some teams. And the game prior, they pushed Montreal to OT. They're playing better hockey, but to roll into Boston and get the win off a mad Boston Bruins team that just lost to the Columbus Blue Jackets 5-2, the Rangers 7-4, and the Red Wings 5-2. I just don't see it happening unless Boston totally doesn't look at San Jose as a threat here. They did win the last game. It was a 3-1 game. That kept, the Sharks under that total of 1.5, so that does have weight. It's a one-off home game. This is my only concern here. Boston's at home for this one-off game. They got 2 games on the road with the Leafs on deck on Saturday. So, look ahead, maybe, but this team can't lose a 4th in a row, or can they? Draw, both teams score in the first. I like it. Okay, you're going with that. Sam, shout out to you as well. That Bruins with the win. They've got to win this one. I just can't see the Bruins slipping again. Not one of my favorite bets of the day. I think the Sharks team total under 1.5 will be my favorite bet of this one, and the Boston Bruins in that first period on the puck line, minus a half a goal at minus 112. And then don't worry about the rest of the game. The Sharks haven't won any of their last 6 meetings in Boston either. So we're looking at a team that's 0-9 on the road this season. There's no way I'm taking them to get the upset over the Bruins. I can't get there. Strong trends to that under. But the problem with taking this one under is with Boston off these losses, the frustration this team must have to score. Blackwood's been a sieve. So I could see Boston going up and over this total themselves. We know the Sharks have been blown out by teams and they've been playing better as of late. Their defense has been playing stronger, but still, this is the Boston Bruins. This is the first night of the back-to-back for the Sharks as well. They got the Devils on deck. This team does not look ahead to any team. They give it their best effort each and every night because they're not able to win a lot of these games. The next one, interesting look here. We got the Chicago Blackhawks taking on the Detroit Red Wings. Now, Chicago, the dog here, plus 164. We all know the controversy surrounding this team. Lots of drama. I don't love betting on a team with lots of drama, but there seems to be value on the puck line. It's juiced, so plus 1.5 at minus 152. I can't get there at that price, but I can see why people would like this. I do expect it to be a tighter game than the books are expecting. Even with the drama for the Chicago Blackhawks, I do think this is still a team that can hang around a little bit with the Detroit Red Wings. Detroit coming in here as a $2 favorite at minus 200. Total 6.5, juice to that under at minus 122 to the over. That's coming in at plus 100. Just says something about Chicago right now that they have been playing strong hockey, even with this drama. They got the win over the Seattle Kraken 4-3 in their last game out, and the Red Wings coming off that loss to the Rangers 3-2. Now, Patrick Kane is still out. I will let you guys know when he gets in this lineup because I tell you this team's going to be absolute fire with him in the lineup. The Blackhawks have dominated out of the last 17 meetings with the Red Wings. They've won 12 of those, but this is a better Red Wings team than we have seen in prior years. The Red Wings, though, are coming in on the back-to-back here after playing the Rangers last night. So it's why I do lean towards the puck line here for the Chicago Blackhawks. It would have to be a parlay piece for me because I'm not betting minus 152 straight up. What I do like in this one, though, is we look at the goaltending matchup. James Reimer expected here for the Red Wings. He's got a 2.30 goals against average, a 0.917 save percentage. Now, we haven't seen him since earlier in the month, and he played versus Ottawa and one other team. I believe it was Montreal. Both of those games were overtime losses put on James Reimer. So I do think he comes out really strong in this one, looking for that bounce back after both of those games were pushed to OT. So I'm looking for a strong night out of him. But I also like the plain and simple bet, the Red Wings to score first in the first period. It's at plus 100 for the Red Wings to come out and get that first goal in the first period. And with Peter Moretz in goal here with a 3.22 goals against average, a 0.906 save percentage. And my thoughts that James Reimer is going to come out looking to get this win, play a really strong game that I think it is my favorite bet of this game. Red Wings to score first. Corey Perry not in the lineup. We know that's the drama here. And I think Connor Bedard, he cost a lot of people on their last parlays with Connor Bedard for the anytime goal. So I don't know if he gets a goal in this one today. I think there's a little bit of rattling going on in with this team. So I can't get it. Yeah, Kane is with the Red Wings. That's going to be definitely good for sure. Blackhawks, way too much drama. It was that mom's trip, and that's why it's all surrounding that. Okay. Let's talk about the Florida Panthers. Let me just get current lines. The Florida Panthers rolling into Montreal now. The Florida Panthers are playing great hockey, and I hate every time that I've gone against them so far, especially against Ottawa. I still can't believe what they were able to do to the Senators in that game. They're coming in here at minus 245 on the money line, plus 198 here for the Montreal Canadiens on the back to back. Total of 6.5, minus 110 to both ways of the 6.5. Premu is expected in goal here for Montreal, and Bobrovsky is confirmed for the Florida Panthers. Now, I'm going to go back to what was making us money before I decided to take the Florida Panthers versus, or no, fade the Florida Panthers versus the Ottawa Senators. It was the Florida Panthers on the puck line in the first period. It's been making us money this season. They've been coming out nice and strong to start these games off. And with Montreal, um, starting slow. Montreal notoriously starts slow. They got that win last night versus the Columbus Blue Jackets as the dog. I do think we can see Florida capitalize on kind of weaker defense, weaker goaltending here of Montreal right out of the gate. The laying the 1.5, or sorry, laying a half goal in the first period is coming in at plus 120. And I absolutely love that. I think Florida can come out in the first period, get that goal. Sam Reinhart has been so strong for this team. He is who you got to look at for that anytime goal scorer. Matthew Tkachuk is more getting assists this season. You guys know that I like what we're seeing out of this team, especially right now, but I also like what we're seeing out of Montreal. So Montreal is a perfect team to bet live when they go down quick on that puck line, grabbing them plus the 2.5, plus the 3.5, because this team fights to the very end, and they do get that backdoor cover on extended puck lines a lot. They are sitting 12-10 on the puck line overall in the season and 5-6 at home. But I need to really go back and look over all of their games and the games that they've come back and really take note of what those puck lines have been in game, because I tell you, every single Friday, Saturday that I am working on Sports Grid, I'm live betting this team to come back and cover that puck line, and it's cashing for me more than it is not. Cole Caulfield here has been playing incredibly strong. He got a goal last night. I would look at him again to make an impact in tonight's game. The Florida Panthers defense, though, has been so phenomenally strong at shutting these teams down, and I love what we're seeing out of this defense. This is a team that was so irrational last season, always in the penalty box, and they've really cleaned that up. They're only allowing 2.55 goals per game, fifth overall in the league, and 27.9 shots on goal. So if you are looking at someone from Montreal, don't take those shots on goal. Take the anytime goals for the value there, because these players are not getting a lot of shots because the Florida Panthers defense are not allowing a lot. But Montreal, you could look at the Florida Panthers for those shots, because Montreal giving up a lot. They're giving up 34.2 shots on goal per game. Okay, let's move on. We got the New Jersey Devils taking on the Flyers here. Yeah, too juicy, that's for sure. Yeah, he's been waived. Perry is gone. It's going to be interesting to see if Corey Perry is picked up by another team. I'm really PO'd about it all because we were hitting Corey Perry for the anytime goal at plus 420. You guys know it was cashing, and now Corey Perry, he's been released. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. I'm sure he's more frustrated than I am. The New Jersey Devils are in Philadelphia, take on the Flyers. Minus 137. They roll in here as a favorite. Plus 114 here for the Flyers. Total 6.5. Now juiced to that under at minus 128. I understand why this one's juiced to the under. It's because of Carter Hart in net here for the Philadelphia Flyers. The over is plus 104. The over 6.5. And I think there's value in the over here. Carter Hart starting to show a couple of holes in his play. And the Philadelphia Flyers, you guys, they're exceeding expectations so far on the season. And it's because of Carter Hart. You look at this team, they've been allowing more shots on goal than their numbers say. So we're looking at a team where their overall shots on goal allowed is 27.3. So the third best overall in the league. Strong kill here in the last game in which they faced the Carolina Hurricanes. Hart faced 33 shots on goal, or no, he faced 35 shots on goal, did allow 3 of those to come in. So more shots are being taken by these teams on Hart. We're starting to see these goals convert. Smid is expected here for the New Jersey Devils. No confirmation between him and Vanacek, but I do think either way, both of these goaltenders haven't been able to keep the puck out of the back of their net. The defense here is starting to lock down a little bit more for the New Jersey Devils, only allowing 29.1 shots on goal per game, but these goals are still coming in. So if I was going to take the total, it would be the over way before I take the under, especially because we're getting a positive return on this one over. This is the first night of a back-to-back for the Devils, but like the Sharks are not in a look ahead tonight playing in their game to look ahead to the Devils are not looking ahead to the Sharks. They want this win here over the Flyers tonight. This one is circled for them. I think the Devils can get the win. Minus 137-ish on that money line isn't bad for them. I think this one is at the fair price. So that's where I'm going. It's the Devils and the over. The New York Islanders taking on the Carolina Hurricanes. Now, the Islanders are on the road, and currently they're plus 176 on that money line. Minus 215 here for the Canes. Man, this line is moving. Total 5.5. Now, that 5.5 is minus 140 to the over, minus or plus 114 to the under. My problem with this game is I don't trust the New York Islanders on the road. The Islanders have struggled on the road this season, and they've also struggled in Carolina. So my problem is trying to find some value on how to bet Carolina in this one. Carolina themselves could go up and over this total. This team is so strong at getting those shots on goal, averaging 33.8 shots on goal per game and 3.3 goals per game. I do like them to just get this win in regulation. Like I said, the Islanders I can't trust on the road. Well, we see between these two strong trends to that road team winning the last 4 matchups. The Islanders are 2-5 in their last 7 road games. They're sitting 4-4, 1-1 on the road this season, and they're 3-8 in their last 11 in Carolina. So give me the Carolina Hurricanes in regulation, minus 145. I will be shocked if this one goes out of regulation, if the Islanders are able to push them, or this one stays under that 5.5, because I think Carolina can push this one over themselves. Okay, the next game we have, we just find the odds here. The Minnesota Wild taking on the Nashville Predators. Now, this game is 8:10 Eastern, minus 104 here for the Minnesota Wild, minus 115 for the Nashville Predators. Total 5.5 again at minus 132. Now, I know these 5.5s are scary to bet to that under, but I tell you guys, this one is going to be a crazy game. I think because the Wild are starting to shoot at a higher percentage, we could see this one going to that over. So I'm going to stay away from the 5.5. But I do count on Saros to be a super strong here for the Nashville Predators. We look at Saros. He has a goals against average of 2.99, a save percentage of 0.900. Over 26 and a half save shots on goal for him is coming in at minus 112. So looking at his normal stats, you would kind of go, okay, that's asking a lot. I know the Wild are shooting more. They're averaging 31.1 shots on goal per game. The defense of the Preds are sitting right around 30 shots allowed on game. But you look at Saros versus the Minnesota Wild over his career. He's gone 6-2 against the Wild. He is yet to lose at home to the Minnesota Wild. So this is a play on Saros tonight. I'm going to take the Nashville Predators. I'm also going to take Saros over 26.5. Save shots on goal. We absolutely need him to stand on his head for this one to come through, because we know the Wild are coming off that win, in the Wild with the fired coach came in, got their win the last game out. Now, I told you guys I don't really believe in that as much in hockey. We've seen it kind of happen for the Edmonton Oilers as well. I don't know. This team could keep rolling hot, but I still do think the Nashville Predators on home ice with Saros in goal is the only way I can play this. Okay, let's look at the next game. You guys, we got the Buffalo Sabres taking on the St. Louis Blues. Let me just find odds for this one here. On FanDuel, we are seeing the Buffalo Sabres at plus 105, minus 126 here for the St. Louis Blues. Total 6.5. Now minus 115 to the over and minus 105 to the under. Sorry, excuse my phone. Jordan Binnington expected in net here for the St. Louis Blues. He's got a 2.91 goals against average and a 0.910 save percentage. I like what we see now to Jordan Binnington. I keep warning you guys, Jordan Binnington is going to lose his cool in one of these games, but I do think in this one, I have to look at the St. Louis Blues here at home. I love what we've seen out of them. They're 6-0 in their last 6 versus the Eastern Conference. They're strong at home, going 9-3 in their last 12 for the home team in this matchup. And the Blues, 5-2 in their last 7 at home. Now, this team plays really strict for themselves. They don't take these penalties here. And the Sabres, I just don't know. They're off that big win, 5-1 over the Rangers. Game 3 here on the road. They've been struggling to string these wins together, and that's my biggest concern. With the big win over the Rangers, they've gone 0-5 in their last 5 games following a win, so they're not getting back-to-back wins here. They're sitting 9-3 on that puck line on the road, but there's no value in the puck line, and they've struggled versus St. Louis going 7-23 in the last 30 meetings. So I do think this is one that has the recipe for the over, even if it is St. Louis, who doesn't score a lot of goals, but I could see them getting those goals on Kokkonen in this one. I could see St. Louis coming out and getting 5 goals. And I don't know why. I just have this number of 5 for St. Louis in my head in this matchup tonight. I just have a feeling they are going to come out really strong offensively. Oh, Jim, thank you so much. I really appreciate your nice comments. Nashville minus 122 points have been money. I like that one. Okay, let's look at the Edmonton Oilers. Now, the Edmonton Oilers are taking on the Winnipeg Jets. And to my friend that sent me the meme today that, well, at least you don't live in Calgary, your life could be worse. Well, I guess you could live in Edmonton, but Edmonton is in Winnipeg today to take on the Jets. It's minus 102 here for the home dog in the Jets, minus 118 for the Edmonton Oilers. Total 6.5 at minus 118 to the over. If you think Winnipeg is going to win this one, I really do think you have to look at bucking the trends here and take this one to the under, because I think if Winnipeg wins it, it's because of a stellar performance out of Connor Hellebuyck. Connor Hellebuyck, he was an automatic last year. Bet on at home. He's got a 2.61 goals against average, a 0.908 save percentage. The problem with taking this one to the under is it's still the Edmonton Oilers. While their defense has really been stepping up as of late in the last couple games, and we've seen Connor McDavid playing fantastic hockey compared to the start of the season. We're seeing Connor McDavid coming back as Connor McDavid. I like almost start choking when I say that. You guys know that it's Edmonton here and Connor McDavid, but he is playing better hockey, and this team is playing better hockey under the new coach. So the same problem is here. It's still Skinner in net. So when we're looking at the under here, if we think Connor Hellebuyck is going to stand tall, really hard to take this one to that under, because we could see the Jets score all night on Skinner. I just don't have the faith in the goaltending here. So I'm going to stay off the total. I do think the Jets at home is the right way to go at minus 104 here on the money line. I think there's value on them. And I also think everyone's looking at the Oilers are back. The Oilers are rolling in as the favorite. People are just expecting the Oilers to get a nice big win. They've struggled in Washington, and that's even when they've been playing better hockey. 1-4 in their last 5 matchups in Winnipeg. Sorry, I think I said Edmonton. They're also 3-8 in their last 11 meetings. And they've been struggling on the road. This team is only 3-8 on the road this season. So I just don't see, even though they are playing better, this one being a game in which Edmonton just rolls in and gets an easy win versus Connor Hellebuyck. Now, the Jets did win the last one. It was in overtime. So it was a 3-2 win for the Jets in OT. So another thing that really does back this total staying under, just can't support putting my money there when I still am concerned about the Oilers in goal with Skinner. Yeah, they did. They won earlier this season. Big shout out to you guys. I appreciate you guys being here so very much on the daily. You don't even know how much it means to me. Okay, let's look at the next one. We have 4 more games to go over, you guys. Let's fly through these. I am going to be on Game Time Decisions tonight, so make sure you join me over there talking Thursday night football. Can hardly wait for this game to kick off. The Colorado Avalanche and the Arizona Coyotes are in action tonight. Now, current odds, the Avs roll in as the favorite at minus 188, plus 155 here for the Coyotes. And you guys know I'm sprinkling on that money line. I think they have the opportunity in Mullet Arena to get the win. Total 6.5, minus 120 to the under, minus 102 to the over 6.5. I love what we've seen out of the Coyotes and how they never give up. Now, Connor Ingram has been strong in goal for them this season. He's got a .924 save percentage and a 2.49 goals against average. Georgiev here for Colorado. Now, Colorado still dealing with some injuries. They've got a 2.84 goals against average, or he has a 2.84 goals against average and a .900 save percentage there. The kill is strong for Colorado. The power play is also strong for the Coyotes. This team sneakily, they've won their last two. They got the win over the Lightning on Tuesday, 3-1. They also shut out Vegas and got a 2-0 win. I know Vegas is kind of like on a downward spiral right now, but I do think Colorado with this value, and I know the other side of the puck. I know Kale McCarr, Nathan McKinnon, Rantanen. I know the firepower of the Avs, and I love this team. But in Mullet Arena, I can't not take Colorado at plus 155. That's where I'm going. If you want to take the puck line, plus 1.5 on Arizona is coming in at minus 150. So too juicy, but maybe this is one where you take the Chicago Blackhawks plus 1.5 and the Arizona Coyotes plus 1.5. I wouldn't hate that either. Both teams are playing so good right now. So I do think there's a possibility of an upset, but at the end of the day, Colorado is the better team. They're 3-5 in the last 18 meetings. So both offenses have the ability to push this one over, though. So I do like this over as well. This is going to be a great game. I'm actually excited to see the Coyotes in Mullet Arena. Okay, one game I'm kind of dreading, and you guys know I'm dreading this. I bet you can guess. The Dallas Stars taking on my Calgary Flames. Now, Dallas rolling into Calgary at minus 125 plus 104 here for the Calgary Flames. Total 6.5 juice to that under at minus 122 to the under. These teams trend to the over when they play each other, but I can't see this one going over that total. I do think we stay under. I'm not going to bet the total, but lean to that under. I do think this is one. The Stars are just playing so strong on the road. And this is why I'm dreading this game. You guys know I'm a Calgary fan. I think the books have it right. The road team has had the advantage in the last 5 meetings. Calgary just won this matchup last Friday, and Calgary won it like 7-4, which I still can't believe they're able to do that. Jake Ottinger was in net for that game, though, and Jake Ottinger actually has struggled versus the Calgary Flames. Now, it looks like Scott Wedgwood, that's a mouthful to say, guys, will be in net for the Stars tonight. So that is a good thing for this team. And like I said, the road team between these two has won the last 5. Looking at Dallas on the road this season, 8-1-0-1. This team has been better on the road than they have been at home. Now, Jacob Markstrom expected here for Calgary, which is not good because he's been up and down. He's been under the weather, and I fear here the Stars are going to hit him hard, that he will be pulled, and then we'll see Vladar in. Anyway, I'd rather them start this one with Vladar than start it with Markstrom, who's not feeling well. So that's where I'm going with that. I'm kind of dreading that game, you guys. Wish my Flames good luck, but I don't think they win it, so my money will not be going there at all. Vasu coming in with his favorite bet, the Bruins, laying the half a goal in the first period. I absolutely love that bet as well. I think it's a great one. Yeah, Kev, and I think you're right. I think that one goes under. My problem is if Jacob Markstrom starts and he's not 100%, this is where my fear comes with that total, because we know Markey at the best of times can be hit hard to start these games if he lets in a couple of quick goals. And then they keep him in there, hang him out a little bit to dry. Calgary playing from behind. I believe Connor Zari's back out. I think Scott Wedgwood will be hard to hit, but he's not their stronger goalie. So we'll see what happens with this one. Stars on the puck line, having confidence in the Stars. I don't blame you tonight. Calgary offensively just hasn't been doing it for us. So I could see that one coming in as well. Okay, we're getting to the last 2 games. So anyone that's hung in here for the last 34 minutes, gold star for you guys. Congratulations. If you want to watch these shows ever on playback, turn me to speed 1.5 or 2. I promise you can still understand me. You get through the show twice as fast. Okay, the Washington Capitals taking on the Anaheim Ducks. Minus 122 here for the Washington Capitals. Plus 102 for the Ducks. Total 6.5 juice to that under at minus 134. Right away for me, this is an under game because I don't think the Ducks can score enough goals in this one to push this one to the over. The Ducks team total under 2.5. We're getting extreme value at plus 132. This is over on FanDuel right now. Ducks under 2.5 plus 132. We rode the Ducks under last night. That cashed nicely. Now, the Ducks have lost their last 7. It's been a terrible losing stretch for them. They're 0-5 in their last 5 games playing on one day's rest. The Washington Capitals come in here. This is not a team that's scoring a lot. Now, they're only averaging 2.32 goals per game, 28.5 shots on goal. They've got a strong or very weak power play. I almost said strong power play, only converting on 5.7%. So I think the right move is to the under in this game. You're getting the under 6.5 minus 132. I also think you look at that first period. And I know the Ducks started off the season really getting these goals coming out nice, hard, and fast. I just don't see it happening versus Washington to start in this game. So the under 1.5 in the first period is plus 100. I'm going to be holding my breath because I hate taking under 1.5 in the first period. We know how easy it is for these goalies to slip up, but I do like this bet. I also like the Ducks team total under that 2.5. The Capitals have been playing stronger hockey. Overall, I think they're the right side in this one. Again, the Capitals on the money line minus 122. It has dropped earlier in the day. It was minus 125. I can see them getting the win here, but this is their last game on the road. They're home versus Vegas on Saturday. So I do worry about a little bit of a look ahead here. So first period, I think is a stronger way to take the Washington Capitals tonight and that under in that first period. Okay, last game. We are gonna go. Yeah, Christopher, it's no problem to be late. Rewind, play me at 2 times speed, much faster to get through the show. Okay, the last game on the board. We got the Vegas Golden Knights taking on the Vancouver Canucks. This is a battle of the Pacific. You guys, this game is gonna be absolutely epic. I'm gonna be completely glued to my screen. Um, don't miss this game. If you're a hockey fan, this is a game to watch tonight. Aiden Hill expected here for the Vegas Golden Knights and Demko for the Vancouver Canucks. We have strength on strength of these goal contenders. Demko coming in with a 2.10 goals against average, a 0.98, 928 save percentage, and Aiden Hill with a 1.96 goals against average, a 0.933 save percentage. These two are going to battle it out. Vegas sitting number 1 in the Pacific on a losing streak right now, lost their last 3. Okay, then you have the Vancouver Canucks. They're sitting second. They are right behind Vegas right now. They want this win, and they can smell blood in the taking. They're at home, and they've got the home crowd behind them. This is the best Vancouver team I can ever remember seeing. Like Vancouver last year facing Vegas, I would have been like, no, there's no way. Vegas is going to steamroll over them, especially on this losing streak. I think this is a different game tonight. I lean to Vancouver to get the win, and I know they're the favorite. I was really hoping the books would still put Vegas as the favorite in this situation, but I think the books are right. I think Vancouver has every opportunity of getting this win. I love this game to go to OT. I think this is a 2-2 game going into overtime. I think we only get 5 goals in this game. I love the under 6.5 because of it. Plus 330 for this game to go to overtime. That is where my money is going. It's also going on the under 6.5. And then I'm going to hold my breath and watch this one because I tell you, these teams are going to battle it out. Now, if you're looking for anyone to make an impact, we know how clinch Quinn Hughes has been for the Vancouver Canucks. So he's probably the only guy I'd look at for that anytime goal, especially with the value at plus 340. I don't like taking anytime goal scorers when I think there's going to be 5 goals at max in this game. So it's not my favorite thing to do, but JT Miller, Elias Pettersson here, and Quinn Hughes are my 3 top guys for Vancouver to look at those anytime goals. These teams trended that over. Defense is going to be way too strong tonight. You look at Vegas, a power play at 20.7%. As a power play for the Vancouver Canucks at 29.8%. So they're sitting third. The kill so strong for both of these teams, mainly Vegas. Vegas's kills at 85.7. So the kill and the power play match up nicely for these teams. I really don't see a lot of scoring. The problem with this game is this one, why I can't really love a side. I do lean to Vancouver because of the home ice advantage, because of the crowd. these teams, it will be who makes the mistakes. Who's going to make the mistake out there? Who's going to be hot headed? Who's going to allow the other team to go on that power play? Because each team will be able to capitalize. I think we do get some puck luck for one of these teams. It's going to be an absolute battle. And you're right, Canucks are an absolutely different team this season. I do expect them to go deep into the playoffs this year. I know the trends to the over. I really do. I have to take the under, you guys. Let Kelly know what you guys are thinking on this total. I look at it. 4-1 in the last 5 meetings to the over. Vancouver 9-3 in the last 12 to that over. We know these teams can score and score at will. Vancouver, one of the highest scoring teams in the league. Vegas when they bring it on, but I do think defense and goaltending locks this one down. So you guys, that is it for me. If you're looking for my Thursday night props in football, head on over to the Sports Grid app. It's actually really cool, you guys. So you can follow each of your favorite hosts, all of the hosts that you like to follow their content. You can see my short video over there. It's 60 seconds giving you my favorite picks in tonight's football game. You can also watch me on Game Time Decisions tonight with Kevin Welsh. I will be going over my favorite bets tonight. So just to tell you guys, these are my favorite bets because you guys are here. Why wouldn't I give you my favorite bets? The Predators on the money line minus 118 versus Wild, and Saros here over 26.5 safe shots on goal. So those are my two favorites in that game. And then the Ducks team total under 2.5 for that plus money versus the Capitals. I love. And then the Knights and the Canucks to go to OT at plus 330. Those are my favorite bets. So Game Time Decisions, I will be going over all of my football bets on tonight's slate as well. So join me. That will be at 4:25 my time, so 6:25 Eastern. That's why we started this show a little bit early. Didn't want to run into that one, you guys. So I don't know, Peter, how it is already Thursday. I keep shaking my head. How is tomorrow December 1st? This is my biggest question mark. And guess what? Here in YYC, yes, we've been frosty and the water is freezing on the rivers, like that thin layer. There's no snow outside my window right now. It is a beautiful thing to see. So you guys, appreciate each and every one of you. And I know Vegas is averaging 3.5 total goals per game. The problem here is they're facing Demko. I cannot take Demko for a bad night. He has been way too astounding for me. So you guys have a good one. Let's make some freaking money on the ice tonight. Also, let's make some money in the NFL. It's going to be one heck of a game between the Seahawks and the Cowboys. So join me, Game Time Decisions on Sports Grid at 6:25 Eastern. We'll see you guys. Have a great night. Bye now.